about HOTOSM. Okay. And then, so why don't we get started? So today's agenda is first I'll go over exactly what HOTOSM is. Then I'm going to go over the impact areas where you're going to make an impact. Then I'll talk about exactly how the mapping process works. And then I'll elaborate on that more by showing you a live demo. And then I'll explain the significance of this project. And then towards the end, we can have a Q&A session. Everyone understand that? Okay.
Yeah.
So first, I have to explain the problem that we are trying to solve here. So every year, natural disasters kill 100,000 people and displace 200 million people. And more than 1 billion people live in places that are at high risk of disasters. So this is the main problem. And to solve this, they created a team called Humanitarian OpenStreetMap Team. We do humanitarian action through our computer in a process called open mapping. I'll elaborate more on what this is later on during the mapping process. But for now, I'll just say that's the type of volunteering you will be doing in this program. And then currently, more than 200,000 volunteers have done this open mapping, and they've mapped an area home to more than 150 million people. Okay, I might as well explain exactly what open mapping is now. So open mapping means you're going to provide geospatial data, meaning like you're going to have satellite imagery. However, to know exactly, you're going to basically classify objects in that satellite imagery. So let's say, for example, if you find a road, you would classify that. Or if you had a house, you would classify that. And by classifying that data, you, you can provide it to disaster response teams, and they'll use that data to save people when disaster strikes in a place. And then these are some examples of organizations. Some of them are really big ones that have made very big impacts due to the data that volunteers have provided. As you can see, there's Red Cross, Medicine Sans Frontieres, the UN, and then governments also have their own disaster response teams. So all of these teams will use the data that you provide, and then they're going to go to these disaster areas, and then they're going to know exactly where to save the people, where exactly they have to go, and then you'll be saving people with your volunteering. Does everyone understand that? Okay. So this is just a list of all the events that HOTOSM volunteers have. So during all HOTOSM volunteers were able to collaborate to provide this geospatial data, which then disaster response teams like the Red Cross were able to use to let me just turn my camera on real quick. So these teams were able to use the data that you provided to go to these places and save people so they know exactly where they have to go, where they have to go to find these people, and then they can save more people. And then I'm gonna talk more about one specific event, which is let me just go, which is the Guinea floods. As you can see, it was very destructive. There was lots of flooding and a lot of architecture was broken, and that's just where it happened. My bad, let me just go back. And in response, volunteers were able to collaborate and map data, and then the disaster response teams were able to use this to know exactly where to go, and they're able to help anyone in danger. So they know exactly where the safe roads are, which houses are not broken. So this also know where it's unsafe and where it's safe to go. And so they could rescue people from dangerous places and also administer treatment. For example, like vaccinations for cholera that came from the flooding. Does everyone understand what happened there? Okay. So this is the very important part. So these are basically where HOTOSM makes the biggest impact. The first one is disaster and climate resilience. The contributions you make will allow communities to become more resilient, meaning they could reduce the effects of disasters because by preparing in advance and by mapping the data, you know exactly where it is, where exactly to go to save people. And the second one is public health. With your mapping contributions, you allow disaster response teams to effectively bring medications and vaccinations to prone areas or places that where disaster strikes. The third impact area is gender equality. This means that no matter what race you are, no matter what sexuality, no matter what gender, you can always volunteer and make significant contributions to the world with open mapping. The fourth one is sustainable cities and communities. Your contributions will help create sustainable cities and communities. They can be more resilient and they can be there longer, become more effective, they can grow to become larger and support a bigger population. You basically improve the quality of life in these places and basically improve the quality of these cities. And the last one is displacement and safe migration. By mapping the data, the maps will have more information on where exactly places are. It allows you to better take care of people that are displaced or people that are seeking refuge. Does everyone understand this? Okay. So now we're going to the mapping process. I'll elaborate more on this during the live demonstration, but this is a general overview of how mapping works. So first, you're going to select a project in the website. So the higher ups for HOTOSM, they're going to create a project based on where a disaster happened or wherever a mapping is needed. And then once you select a project to work on, they're going to then divide that project. So basically some land. They're gonna take a region, make that a project, and then they're gonna divide it into subregions. You'll see this more in the live demonstration, but you're gonna click a subregion, which is called a task. And that subregion is dedicated only for yourself. So it's like a place where you can focus. And then lastly, once you select a task, you can then map through OpenStreetMap, which is the map you'll be using. Does everyone understand? So now I'll move on to a live demonstration. And then if you had any doubts, I can clarify all of them here because you'll see all of the projects, tasks, and mapping actually be done right now. So let me just change my screen share real quick. Okay, so share. Okay, does everyone see my screen share? You can see the website here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so first I'll just put the link, and I encourage all of you to click the link and follow along. This is the website, hotosm.org, and there's openstreetmap.org. So first, before we start the mapping, you have to first create an account in OpenStreetMap. To do this, you have to be above 13, which is why this program has a restriction. So you have to be 13 or older to participate. So first I'll go to this website, openstreetmap.org. Well, as you see here, it's loading. I've opened OpenStreetMap over here. Website, OpenStreetMap. So you want to click sign up if you don't already have an account. If you have an account, you're all good. But I'm assuming most of you don't. So we're going to click sign up. And then you'll type your email.
I did, Mom. Mom, it's the same video as last time. Like how to sign up for everything.
Oh yeah, it's
I'll
the
just
same one. Well, it's the same one as last time.
Is that right? It's the same one as last time.
Yeah. Okay. So why don't I continue now? So once you in the sign up, you're going to type your email, type it again. You could put your username and then put the password and confirm the password. And then once you click sign up, you should be good. And then you should only do that if you're 13 or above. But once you click that, you've made an OpenStreetMap account and you should be good. Then you could just log in. And then your OpenStreetMap account will be set up. Does anyone have any questions? Or are we all good? Everyone understands that? So now there's the HOTOSM website. So why don't I go over there first? So you should get to hotosm.org. I put the website in the chat. So I highly suggest you click the link right now. And then if you have any questions while doing this, you can ask me. So once you click HOTOSM, what you want to click here is start mapping right here. Once you click that, you'll get brought to the task manager website. This is where you'll be doing all the mapping. But before that, what you want to do is you want to click sign up. Over here, you can provide your name and your email address. And then, well, I already have an account, but if you were to provide your name and email address, it would then ask you to authorize your OpenStreetMap account. And then after logging in through OpenStreetMap, you should have an HOTOSM account. I suggest you do this right now and then ask me and then if you have any questions, you can ask me right now. So does everyone understand that part of that part of the process? Okay, good. So now I'll move on to the user interface of the tasking manager. First of all, I'm assuming everyone here is new to open mapping. So there's all of these different buttons. The first one over here is difficulty level. By clicking this, you can select any kind of difficulty. You can click all of them. You can click easy, moderate, or challenging. I suggest everyone click easy. so that we can all have a good time volunteering. It's not going to be too hard. And then, yeah, I think everyone should do easy when you're starting out. And then the next one is this project. This is not too important because we won't be doing this validating or archived. You could select projects to map just so you could find projects that are still available for you to do volunteering. And then there's more filters. These aren't too important, but I'll get to that later. Then there's the sorting button. You could sort all of these projects by easy, by challenging, by urgency, or by whether it's active or not. We won't be using this too much. Mainly you'll be using the difficulty level filter. So after this, I think it's best we move on to a project. And so we'll move on to, why did I filter by urgency? Find an urgent project. So now in specific the 2024. So they've created a project for that. So first they're going to 6.9 earthquake, blah blah. You would read this first. If you want to click read more, there's a description section where you can basically find more details about the project. Next, there is this type of mapping. Okay. And over here, there's like colored icons that show exactly what objects you'll be mapping. There's 5 different types. First one is roads. The second one is buildings. Third one is waterways. Fourth one is land use. And fifth one is other. The easiest one to get started with is buildings. And since that's the only one shaded, in this specific project, the only thing you have to map is a building. And lastly, over here you can see easy. Like this is an easy difficulty project. And then if you wanted to get started volunteering here, you can click contribute. Let me log in first, my bad. Project. This one. So if you wanted to contribute, you could click contribute here. And then now I can show you exactly what a project looks like. So as you see, this whole place here is the project. And inside, there are these tiny squares or rectangles, you could say. Those are the subregions in the project that are dedicated to one person. So this one is a task. If you wanted to do mapping there, you could click a white box, meaning the one that's available, or a yellow box where people started working on it, but more mapping is needed. Any information regarding like the status of a task will be in the legend here. So I won't delve too much into that. But mainly the white ones are the ones you should go for because those are available for you to map. If you were to click that And then you could click Map Selected Task to get started. But I'm actually gonna show you how the mapping is done in a different task. First, I'll explain though, there's other parts of the web page here. This Explore Projects part here. This is where you have all the buttons for sorting. This is where you can find all the projects, and then you can do whatever you're interested in. This My Contributions, this allows you to see all of your statistics. Over here, some social profiles, and then there's these. So first of all is the time you spent mapping. This is inaccurate, so you don't have to really worry too much about this. Next is the amount of buildings you mapped. So I've done 763. And then there's the kilometers of road mapped. Again, and then this is a point of interest mapped. These three, we're not going to be doing too much of that because they're more advanced. We might get into that later on, but for now, we'll mainly focus on building. Second, there is, okay. And there's also some more charts in this My Stats area here. A timeline of your contributions. These aren't too important, but they're just a way to visualize your contributions. There's three more things here. The important ones are my projects. As you can see here, I've contributed in 2 different projects, so 2 different places where I have done open mapping. This isn't too big. And then there's a task. These are, let me just let it load. These are a list of all the tasks. So you saw previously there were squares, right? These are basically all the squares I've clicked and worked on. And this My Teams is not too important. And then the 3 over here after, they're not too important. You could explore those on your own time. You'll mainly use Explore Projects or My Contributions. Or you could check your account by clicking here. Okay, so I'm gonna actually show the mapping, how mapping is done. So to do that, you could either explore a new project here and start mapping in a new project. However, I actually have a project that all of Atmiya could work on, and that is this one over here. This project here. This one. And then the specific project has an ID called this. Yeah. That's the link to the project, I'm pretty sure. If you don't want, you can also search for that by clicking the search over here, and you could type the ID. And then just press enter. What? Yeah, you can search for any project here. Like that. So anyways, I've provided the project that we'll be working on. I'm gonna go to the
Satvik,
project.
I
Yeah.
have a question here. Could you please get into the my contribution and my tasks? I just want to see the comments. Yeah, my tasks. And they've provided some comments, right? Ready for validation or finished.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, could you please click on it? We just want to, see the comments there. Finished or something.
Okay.
You see 4 comments there.
Okay. Yeah. So ready for validation means I finished mapping there.
Mhm.
I'm actually gonna get into validation later. That's not applicable to us.
No, I'm talking about
Basic-
the comments there. There are 4 comments related to this particular task.
Where?
Could you please go
Zoom.
back?
Okay, yeah. We just go back.
Yes. Okay, you see the comments there? Yeah, the chat.
No. Sarthik, you have to click on the comment.
Oh, my bad, yeah. Taking a while to load.
Yeah, the third column. Yes, exactly. Looks like it is disabled, right? Or can we see?
Yeah, we can see. Andy. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's great. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
it's comments, yeah.
By looking at the comments, you can readjust whatever the contributions you have given, right?
Yeah,
Yes, sometimes they may say, okay, for example, if the project is finished, they may come back and say, okay, if they identify some areas where the contribution is needed, they
Yeah.
will specify it's not completely done. So in that
Okay.
case, we can go back and adjust our contributions.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Sat, I got one question. So once
Yeah.
this disaster happened and they open the project, you're gonna
Yes.
identify all the buildings, all the proper roads and everything. So you pretty much you're remapping for the Red Cross type of things to, I mean, to help them, right? To
Yeah,
know the latest stuff, like, how they can reach over there and what is available, what is not. That's it, right? That is the
Yeah.
main focus here, right?
yes.
Just only a part of
Okay.
it, and it doesn't mean that the disaster has to happen. Some of the projects, if you see, even before the disaster happened, if there is a need to map, then they'll create a
Yeah.
project.
Sometimes in the map that no one has provided data there because it's very isolated. And so if disaster were to happen there, it would be very destructive because no one knows how to get there easily.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
for that also, we could do volunteering by mapping. Okay.
So the main idea here is to put the maps into the real world map.
Yeah. You're going to add the data to the map. Okay. So why don't I get to the task? Just resume mapping, yes. Sorry, so it's not loading. There.
Maybe
But
you
I
can
think
open up
is
a
it.
new project, Satvik.
Yeah, I'll try that. Why don't I just do easy one? Here, maybe this one, I guess. This one, for example. Well, there's not much to show here.
There are few buildings out there. I think it's already done.
I don't even think those are buildings. This is the
We select another area.
Yeah, maybe.
yeah. I'll select another one. That's not a
Yeah,
good
click on
one.
map task, then probably it will select it for you. You don't have to worry. There you go.
Yeah, over here. So there is a building, right? So I cannot tell exactly what kind of building that is. but it is a building. So what I'm going to do is this white part's a building. So I'm going to click area over here. And then I'm going to drag points on the edges like that. And then I'm going to right click, square. And then lastly is feature type over here. I'm going to click and then click building. Now the map knows that that specific part is called a building. And then I would repeat that with other buildings.
So the building means it doesn't matter what type of it is, like, anything, like, even
Yeah.
small hut also building, you're considered as a building, or what is that you're trying to?
So if you don't know what type of building it is, you would put building. However, if you knew specifically if it was a house, then you would find
Yeah, we
maybe
may
over
not
here.
know. We may
How
not
do
know
we
the
know?
type of build. Yeah, we may not know the type of building because we don't belong to that area. So the
Right.
project validators, they may have some kind of knowledge about that area. So in which case they may go and then further classify it as a residential building or a temple or a hospital. They do further classification at the time of validation or maybe at some point in the future.
Who are they?
The project
The
creators could be someone um, you know
Oh,
some
okay.
non-profit organization that is responsible or working with HOTOSM.
So
or
our
any expert.
responsibility is just, the mark the polygon or whatever that building area and just mark it some form of, like, building or something, and they do further validation and make it refined.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is the main part of this volunteering.
Yeah. And
To
sometimes
just
the building may not be a rectangular or square, right? Or sometimes it's a different polygon, or sometimes it will be a circle, like hearts. They may be in a circular shape. So in that case, you may be using a different shapes. Satvik, can you show that? If you click on the area, it will show different options.
just show.
Yeah, if it is
Okay,
a
I'll
heart.
show different areas. So over here, there's no house. I'm just gonna show how the area works. So I've marked this as a polygon. I'll right click on the edge and click circularize. And it makes it. Oh my bad. Sorry, it looked. Yeah. So this is the circle I made. So there's different ways you could do this. You could make a square, you could make a circle. And there's more, you could maybe rotate it. You'll mainly be using the circle and square features.
Yeah, and sometimes I just want to add one more point here. Sometimes a tree may be blocking the area of the house, right? Building. So in which case you may have to guess, depending on the dimensions. You may have to see. You may have to guess where it is going, and then accordingly you have to map it. Satvik, if you can find a building, you can show further.
I don't think there's a building here I can see blocked by a tree. Maybe this one. Over here. This building here is blocked by a tree. So you try to guess where the building ends. And then map that way. However, I will not map because when you select a task, you can only map within this pink square. Unless there's a building that inside your task, but a little bit of it goes outside. Then you can go outside the big square, but you mostly want to stay inside because if you go outside, then you might mess up someone else's work.
Yeah, the idea is that they basically lock that area within the pink square for you to do the mapping. And once you are done with the mapping, Satvik, what do you have to do? Can you show that?
Yeah, once we're done with the mapping, you want to click save. Over here, you can do Control S, which
Yes,
just clicks
Patrick,
the
quick
save button here.
question here.
Yes.
In the previous point, like you mapped one building. The next to the building there is a small area. Do you do that also or no?
If you think that's a building, you could map like this also.
Okay.
If you think that's a separate building, you could map.
Okay. So those are like two separate mappings there, right?
If it's not, then someone will fix it. But you
Okay.
can try your best.
Yeah, the
But
problem
once
is
you're
these
done,
are these are satellite imagery, right? So it may not be sometimes accurate. So you have to make your best guess.
Yeah. Yes. So
So
are these
just
like ESRI images?
yeah, this is a type of imagery. That's not too important as a beginner mapper. The type of imagery will not be too important as a beginner. But for now, you can see that the satellite imagery contains these buildings, and then you should map. And then once you've mapped maybe 10, 15 buildings, to save your progress, you can click the save button here. Once you do that, you want to click I would like someone to review my edits. And then also, this is the most important part. You want to add in this change set comment, hashtag Atmiya. Atmiya USA. It allows us to know how much you mapped as an organization. And then once you finished all the mapping, you would then upload it to OpenStreetMap, which is the map that we're going to use.
hey, Satvik.
Yeah.
Yeah, for this, it's only buildings, right? You're referring everything is only buildings that we need to identify, not any roads or anything, right?
Yeah, buildings will be the easiest one to do. So it's a good thing to start with only buildings. That'll be the easiest project.
Yeah, roads can be advanced, Andy. The reason is, the roads you need to understand uh, the naming convention or the mainly the naming convention that the region follows. For example, in India we have the national highways and the approaching ways and all that stuff. So we need to understand how those roads are classified in that particular region and then map accordingly.
Yeah,
So
and also it's probably might be like, too above our knowledge, right? Because
yes,
when the disaster already happened, probably there are no roads and maps are not up to date, latest in a matter of day or two. How do those things will be identified or
yeah,
rectified,
the
basically?
maps probably the imagery probably might have been happened in advance, even before the disaster happened, right? So the roads may be there, but we may not know what how those roads to be classified as. So the to start with, definitely the they have the specific information about the task on the right hand side, right? You see on the right hand side you have completion, instructions, and history. So the instructions probably would give us more information, like how those road needs to be classified. They also point to some outward, like outside links where we can get more information how those roads are classified in that particular region. For example, in Africa, they may follow different naming convention to classify certain roads. So we get all that information from the website and then do the mapping accordingly here. But definitely, if we make any mistakes, then obviously the project validators will definitely fix that.
Got it. Okay.
So does everyone understand how the basic mapping works with buildings? Okay, I'm assuming everyone understands. If you want, with the 15 minutes we have left, you can try starting mapping. And then if you have any questions, I can help you out.
So Satvik, as a group, we can lock an area, right? Do you explain that as well? So for example,
I don't think that's possible. I don't know if it's possible. I don't know how to do that.
okay,
However,
we can look into that
have-
later.
however, I do have a project that I think would work well. I put in a chat. You're welcome. Okay, I put a project in the chat.
Right, right.
12598. So if everyone would just put down the search projects, or if they were to click the link, then they would get access to that project and they can start mapping.
Do you want to attempt that now? The 12598 some project we're talking about, right?
Yeah, I'll get there right now.
So how many
And
mappers we have? Like, let's first understand that. How many mappers already created the account and then, ready to do the mapping now? We have around 12 people. So leaving Bindu Garu, we have 9 people on the call.
I have two kids here, Andy. We will sign up today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm creating one. This is Sridhar.
Yeah, sure.
So quick question, Andy, Harish garu.
Yeah, చెప్పండి.
So ఇప్పుడు మన సాత్విక్ he was showing, right, the buildings, the maps. ఇప్పుడు అవి ఓపెన్ గా ఉండవు కదా. If they are already mapped, how do we know? Are they locked?
Already, yeah, when you zoom in, I mean, the area, once you select the area, that area is specific to you. No one else can meddle with that area. But if there is any, if you zoom in, you would see how many buildings in that area are already mapped. Because at the moment you map, the building color changes, the outline becomes red, right? So when you zoom in, you would see that the particular building is already mapped. So you would attempt to map only the buildings that are not mapped.
Okay, okay.
okay, so I think we can start mapping. And then if anyone has questions, they can ask me, okay?
Regarding the hours, I have a question, Andy. So, as Satvik earlier mentioned that those hours are incorrect. So, based on what we will be getting the volunteer hours?
The dashboard, Andy, for every 50 buildings that the kid maps, I think we'll get him or her an hour. Is that right, Bindu
got
Garu?
Yes, sir, that's
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
It all based on the tags or categories and how many hour. For example, if the kid contributes 110, then they get 2 hours. And if it is 150 or something, they get 3 hours, something like that. We just go by the dashboard. So you have to submit the dashboard when you're sending your timesheets. That is the
Yeah.
proof.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
And this is just the beginning, Andy. The more the kid starts mapping more buildings, we are actually planning for a mapathon wherein all the kids come together on virtually, and then they can do the mapping together. Like 50 kids or 100 kids, whatever the number may be, they can do the mapping at a time. So that way we can at least bring the change to the world. There are so many people living in areas that are prone to disasters. So at least they would get some kind of help before the disaster
So,
strikes.
yeah, Harish garu, are you recommending that kids to open an account, or they can work on
Yes.
the parent account as well?
Yeah, I think the kids should open their account, Andy. That
Yeah.
way
Okay.
It's better to register. I mean, if you don't want him to use his last name or something, you can definitely use his first name or something like that. Or and finally, they request. I believe if he is 13 years old, or they'll ask for parents, permission or something there.
Okay. And you're saying how do we submit the dashboard? You're saying dashboard. Sorry, I missed it.
Just take a screenshot and just take a screenshot and then send it over to atmiya.timesheets@gmail.com.
You mean the areas that we selected? That is what you guys
Uh,
need? Screen.
Yeah, well, Satvik, could you please bring up your screen
Yeah,
with
sure that, please.
dashboard?
Which thing should I demonstrate again?
Dashboard screen.
Okay, yeah, I'll get there.
Yeah, see here, you see 768, right? So Satvik, how many hours did you accumulate this mapping project?
I would do 768 divided by 50. So far, I think 15 hours.
15 hours. So he accumulated 15 hours. As a proof, we are requesting you to snip the area where the name, and the stats, everything is showing, right? Satvik?
బిందు గారు మరి అది 157 అని కనిపిస్తుంది అదేంటండి?
That's
అది
incorrect
వాళ్ళు
అండి.
ఓపెన్ చేసి పెట్టేశారు అనుకోండి, అలాగా అది రన్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది కదండి పక్కన.
ఓకే, సో దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ద కరెక్ట్ వన్. ఓకే.
Yeah, that's not the correct one అన్నమాట. We're just going with the buildings or whatever the advanced mapping or whatever it is. So for now, let's stick to the houses, and later on, Satvik will, look into the types of mapping, and then he is going to come up with the next level.
Yeah.
Just one more question, Andy. Like,
Yeah.
Earlier you mentioned that everybody in our group will be doing one particular task together, right? So if they are doing it at one time, what if they overlap? They're doing the same building at the same time. Will that be possible, or each person will be given different tasks in the same task manager, or anything like that? Can you explain a little bit more on
Yeah,
that if
sure.
they are doing together?
Yeah, when you open the task, I mean, you are going to lock a particular area. So that is for you for 2 hours, if I'm not mistaken. Satvik, correct me about the timings.
Yeah, it should be 2 hours.
2 hours, right?
And if you-
Yeah. So that particular area will be logged for that particular person. సో అక్కడికి ఇంకెవరు రాలేరు. ఐ థింక్ గ్రూప్ కాంట్రిబ్యూషన్కి ఇంకొకటి ఏదో ఉంది. వి విల్ లుక్ ఇన్ టు ఇట్. బట్ ఫర్ నౌ, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, హీ asked us to look into this Durban floods and landslides, right? We'll get into that project ID, click on it, and you will be clicking on one particular area, and Satvik will be clicking on one particular area, and that will be logged for you and for him respectively, different locations.
Okay.
So,
okay.
yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, if you have any other questions also regarding any other project IDs or projects, please let us know. So, yeah.
ఒక క్వశ్చన్
Like
అండి.
for any kid who has started last week and may not have added that tag and the Atmiya tag, will that can they edit and tag it later or any time for whatever task that they did?
Well, actually, we didn't look into that, but ask the kid to, try it out. Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think you can edit it. However, it will still be in the dashboard.
Yeah.
So although it might not get added to Atmiya's organization, I think it should still count because in the end, every month you will send the screenshot of your dashboard to atmiya.timesheets@gmail.com. So as long as you send the screenshots of the dashboard every month, I think you should still get hours. But it's
Yeah.
also good to put that hashtag so we can see how many hours Atmiya got.
Yeah, it is always recommended to have that tag because that's how it shows how many we have contributed from Atmiya organization.
Yeah, because we have the partnership.
Partnership with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can
So-
see how Atmiya is contributing.
Yeah. Once we get significant number, we can brag about it, right? Probably we requested them to, tag the kids in LinkedIn and talk something great about the kids, because that's how they will be benefited. It is more like mutually benefited. So it is always recommended to have that tag with the kids. Yeah.
Click on get statistics, Satvik.
Oh yeah.
Get statistics. Yeah. Do you need to add hash as well?
Also, no, it's not needed.
Parledanడి. Okay.
No, you don't need to put that.
You know?
Why the
Okay.
submit button is not working?
I don't know because we did more than 450.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think we are at 1700 buildings right now. 17 plus.
Okay. Monthly interval is
సో
monthly.
ఇప్పుడు ఇది కిడ్స్ చేస్తారు కదండి మ్యాపింగ్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తే
అవునండి.
ఏమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ వస్తే లైక్ ఎవరు
You can definitely put it in the group itself.
Chat,
మనకి
okay.
వాట్సాప్ గ్రూప్ ఉంది కదండి. That's where అందరూ అక్కడే ఉంటారు
Oh wait,
కాబట్టి somebody can explain about the question. So it is always recommended to reach out in the group.
there you go.
Yeah.
1435 buildings.
Yeah, 1435
Nice,
buildings.
nice.
Great contribution, guys.
అండ్ ఇది వీక్లీ సబ్మిట్ చేయమంటారా బిందు గారు? హౌ డస్ ఇట్ వర్క్?
మంత్లీ అనుకుంటున్నామండి ప్రస్తుతం.
ఓకే.
మంత్లీ ఉంటే బాగుంటుందని. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇఫ్ ద కిడ్ ఈస్ ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్ ఇన్ PVSA, then we will have a separate session. We are planning to add 3 kids in one master sheet, and we will talk about it.
Okay.
The kid is interested.
Okay, we have 3 minutes. Any more questions? Oh, by the way, all the kids are in volunteering groups, Andy. Otherwise, you can add them. Or also, we have a Discord group.
Should I invite the Discord?
Yeah, I can put
If
the Discord
possible.
link. The problem here is, the Discord group. We should know the kid's name. Otherwise, we will not be able to allow
Add
them.
them. Yeah.
Add them. Yeah. So if the kid is planning to join the Discord group, please let us know their name so that we can validate them and then we can allow them into the Discord group.
Yeah, and one more.
Any advantage, sorry to interrupt, Andy.
The thing
Any
is that-
advantage over Discord, Andy? Like WhatsApp
no-
is more convenient, right?
Yeah, the thing is that not everyone has a telephone number to access the WhatsApp. So a lot of kids are using Discord, so that's why we are promoting Discord. And at some point, once they're adults, they can join the Discord channels on their own, and they can see the other Discord channels within Atmiya Discord server. So it's up to them, Andy. If they have a WhatsApp number, then they can join the WhatsApp groups. But ideally, we are trying to promote the Discord so that everybody can discuss. It's one place where they can talk about whatever project they are working on, and then they can discuss. Satvik, you can paste the Discord link.
Yeah, I think it's this one.
Yeah.
This one, right?
Yeah.
And one more thing, Andy, if the kid is confident and if they're contributing well, if they want to proceed further and do some sessions like what Satvik is doing, it's totally fine, Andy. We highly recommend everyone to, provide their own, Zoom calls. That way the kids will be confident and we can promote the leadership opportunities for them.
Thank you, Satvik. Thank you, Bindu Garu. Thank you, Harish Garu, for taking the session again, and wonderful opportunity for our kids, Andy. Thank you so
Welcome,
much.
Andy.
You're welcome.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Satvik. Good work.
Yeah, thank you, Anil.
You're welcome. And thank you everyone for joining, taking your time to learn about HOTOSM.
Same.
Thank you.
So Shrikar
Thanks,
is saying
Satvik.
thank you too, Satvik.
Yes, I think he heard that.
Okay.
Bye, Srikar.
Bye.
Thank you, Satvik. This is Saraswati.
Okay. You're welcome. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, I work in geospatial. I'm working since 15 years. So
Mhm.
I did this project once when Louisiana had FEMA disaster, the hurricane occurred. So it was in
Mm, so-
2018. My kid is ninth grader now.
Okay.
Yeah, he will try to make, yeah, he will try to sign up and contribute as much as
Okay.
he can.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for the session and
Yeah. You're welcome.
okay, yeah,
Bye.
bye.